pose the question. Continue after this. Pose the question.
Sure.
But does this change how you view Mahomes? Let's just go there.
Yes. I changed how I view him because I feel like he was probably the only modern day quarterback that could ever have another GOAT case.
Yeah.
Like it would be hard to like stand up and be like, yeah, that's the GOAT over Brady. But if you three-peat, win 5 and 7 years, you have a leg to stand on because like you've done something that's never been done. Now, see, this is why I love football so much because now the other end of that is you're 3-2 in Super Bowls and you've been flooded twice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Tom's never been flooded. Like, and that it felt like watching, like, it's crazy mentioning a great 8 watch, the Peyton Seattle Super Bowl. I was like, oh, yeah, it's over. It's over. Yeah, you come back and win it. They just blew the doors off of you on national TV. Yeah. And it was embarrassing. Like, we got the stuff up right here. It cost the 50th to the second half.
That's insane.
It was like a Pac-12 team.
That's insanity.
I didn't know that.
They were like a
That's
Pac-12
insanity.
team playing in the playoffs.
Yo,
The
that-
50, bro.
They didn't run a play in the Eagles side of the field into the second half. Like, and we mentioned, of course, Andy Reid and Spags, how we feel like they were outcoached. I mean, Xavier Worthy didn't touch the ball to the second half.
Yeah.
Like,
And everyone been saying all week he was going to be the X factor for that.
he's there at this point. He's their number one.
Yeah.
You didn't see like the way the Chiefs play is so. We always compare him to Steph, and in this situation, I feel like it's a good comparison because, man, if 30 off, it just don't work.
Don't work.
It just there's just no replacement for it.
Yeah.
You add like Mahomes has to do so much stuff great because you've been getting away. Like we've talked about, you've been getting away for 20 games.
Yeah. Yeah.
21 score games, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Your luck is going to run out eventually if you're not solid. And they look scared. They look intimidated. They look soft. They look like they wanted. Like it was a man's game on Sunday.
I'll be real. I think they look scared. I saw they look scared even just off the first rip. It was like RPO, check down, RPO, dump off. I was like, you could just tell. I was like, y'all been getting off on this because y'all really, and this is what I've been saying all year. Like y'all haven't seen a defense like ours all year.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, you're not used to everyone missing 5 tackles every time someone runs up to make a tackle. Like y'all not used to. Well, you've been running for your life this year because the tackle's been on bullshit. But like, y'all ain't used to seeing this blanket out there. Like I'm dropping 7 back there every single time, and like, nah, like where you gonna go with the ball, my boy?
And not just we're dropping 7. 6 of the 7 guys are elite cover guys. 4 of the corners are good. Linebackers are good, and the 4 people up front aren't just like okay, the 2007 Giants. Like okay. You look at that, it's like, all right, it's Michael Strahan, it's just a tough, like it's crazy people everywhere. The Eagles is like, it's probably 9 players that are going to rotate on this D-line. And all of them good.
They're all fresh.
They're all good.
Yeah.
So I want to address before we get into the why, because that's where y'all were going. Yeah. I just want to mention Mahomes real quick about if I change my opinion.
Oh, yeah, I got
and
lost.
this is the only thing I will say about him is this is going to go one or two ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Brian in 2011, you brought that up, and I think that's a perfect comparison.
That's a great one.
9 straight finals after that.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Went on one of the 3-4 greatest runs in NBA history after that.
Yep.
Yeah.
On the flip side, you can have that happen, and now we got the blueprint for you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because Aaron Rodgers never went back to the Super Bowl.
Facts.
And Aaron Rodgers at that point in time, after he had that season, that MVP caliber season with that defense, with that team, with that squad,
15-1 next year.
15-1 next year, all of that, it was, this finna be Aaron's time. Aaron finna rattle off 3, 4, 5 of them. He liked that. But you started to kind of get the blueprint on how to stop him in the playoffs. And now this is the second time that in the playoffs he has lost because of his offensive line, because it's not like, because I think some people are putting too much on the offensive line because, again, I want to put a lot of this on Andy. Yeah. Like, you did not help them at all. You didn't help them at all. No, you have to help a bad offensive line because, tangent, at the beginning of the season, the Ravens' offensive line was terrible. Yeah. But what they did was they made sure they established the run because it slowed the pass rush down, and then they made sure Lamar got a really deep drop. So it took a little bit of time for them to get back there, and then it's Lamar. But on the Mahomes side of it is, if we get this blueprint, and now I know if I can just knock you off your spot in the first quarter and get you down. And it's, of course, it sounds easier than done.
Right.
But if this is a recipe and people are able to replicate this recipe, I do think this is a sign of what the future can hold, because I don't think that Kansas City is going to be able to retool to 3 Hall of Fame players, bro. Like, they have Travis Kelce and Chris Jones. Those are 2 Hall of Fame players, and then they have a Hall of Fame coach and a Hall of Fame defensive coordinator. Yeah. So that's a lot of Hall of Famers in one roster carrying your team. Chris Jones is out of here in 2 years. Travis might be done this year.
Travis was done in January.
He needs to be.
And he might as well be done.
Travis was done in January.
Type shit. Like, Travis is over with. Yeah. So it's like, can they retool this to go like, because the focus, the preparation, and the dedication it takes to win this much in the NFL is crazy, and it's hard. That's why nobody has ever three-peated before. Yeah. So it doesn't make me look at him differently as a football player. And I was never really, he's the GOAT or even close. I didn't think it was a conversation to be had. Like, that's how I felt about it. So that doesn't change. Mm-hmm. But where I'm putting a question mark on my light bulb or antenna is going off is, all right, what happens if this is the blueprint and now people understand?
I agree with that. I think you're right in a way, but I think, like you said, it's easier said than done for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
It changes. GOAT debate-wise, I want to hit a couple things. So GOAT debate-wise, as the Brady fan, I feel for him in a way because, the Eagles beat us too the same way. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it took 30 points. His foot was on the line. He was not in bounds. It's not a touchdown. But the thing is, and we give a lot of credit for Mahomes. What it feels like, it's a fork in the road moment, like you said.
Definitely.
But not just for his career. I think the way he plays the game fundamentally has to change. And I know it's going to sound crazy, but the NFL, like the NBA and all sports, move in trends. And while Jalen Hurts is a scrambling quarterback, Jalen Hurts is in the pocket. And Jalen Hurts, and he threw a pick doing this. And, sometimes you do get stuck with this, but sometimes, fam, you just got to stay in the pocket even if it's collapsing. Mm-hmm. One of my favorite things about Brady was in the games where we were outmatched up front physically. Like I think the 2014 Broncos game where we were down a bunch of points, came back. Either of the Super Bowls versus the Giants, just plenty of times. Fam, sometimes you just got to stand back there, get hit, and still sling it. Mm-hmm. And I think what happens is you get 6 sacks in a game where you don't blitz is you may be able to escape. But it might be easier if you just hit this in route on 2nd and 8. Mm-hmm. Get us to 3rd and 5, and then throw something. Sometimes, and this is the thing with Vic Fangio, and this is why this is one of his greatest defensive performances, is he didn't have to change anything.
Nope.
Same shell the whole game.
He didn't. This is the first Super Bowl since the 70s where they didn't have to blitz.
Same shell the whole game. Just go out there and make plays.
And look, just be better than us today. Be better. And it's crazy. But the minute we got the Super Bowl matchup, first thing I said about this game was whoever's corners win are going to win the game.
That's exactly what he did say that.
Whoever corners are going to hold up.
He also said something, and you was right, but said the wrong thing to be right. But we was doing our top 10 players last week, and
I saw Jalen Watson in that top 10. That nigga got toasted. That's all I'm gonna say. I saw him in there.
I told him I had Chris Jones above Jalen Carter on my list.
I agree with
because
that.
Chris Jones, I was like, he might not have a motor in the first 3 quarters, but when it comes to game time and I need to play, I know he's going to make it, so I got him over Jalen Carter. Yeah. And he said, but the reason I have Jalen Carter first is because if the Eagles win this game, it's not going to get to the 4th quarter, and he's going to be the reason why, because that defensive line is going to wreck the game. And he just said it was going to be Jalen Carter specifically, but it was the defensive line in its entirety. Right. But that was his point, was like, yeah, you can have Chris Jones above it for the 4th quarter, but if the Eagles win this game, it's going to be because that front 7 dominate, and he was spot on.
And what I saw, especially early, was beat us one-on-one.
Yeah,
beat us one-on-one. It may not be. We're not gonna chase. We're not gonna play man. We're gonna play good, tight zone, rally to the ball, make plays. And you saw people routinely not make plays. D-Hop had a nasty drop. Travis had a nasty drop. Mahomes missed 7 passes before halftime.
Dog.
Not just incomplete passes, misses.
Misses.
Yeah, bad.
Misses. So
He had a first down and Travis wide open sat him
open.
down
Sailed
and
it.
behind him.
literally. And you saw just, I think and this is my second point. I think the next phase of his career will have to be, it's crazy. He's going to have to play more like Brady than he did
Straight
himself.
pocket work.
Yeah, where, fam, sometimes it's one step to the left and throw. It's not spin around, come back, and then throw. Like, sometimes, like, because the people you're trying to throw to, they can't see you spin around until they turn around. Their routes have to end before they see you. So having more control of that, I think, is going to help him because I think he's just gotten too wide.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's used to the Mahomes magic. That's what
Literally.
he came up off of. You're going to be
1000%.
30 now, so I'm with you.
And I agree with Ish where he said he has to fundamentally change how he plays. Just real quick, it seems like when his line starts to have a bad game, his eyes come down quick.
Exactly.
And that was the thing what you're speaking about Brady is Brady's eyes never came down. It was like, bruh, either we lose this game because I don't want to get hit, or I get hit and we win. Like there's no option. Those are the only 2 options. So I'm gonna sit in this pocket and I'm gonna get hit, so my eyes are gonna stay up. And it seemed like he was saying hut, and the second he didn't his first option wasn't open, his eyes came down, and he tried to find the reset to throw the ball, and that's something that has to drastically change.
One of my favorite just QE masterclasses is the 2014 Super Bowl for the Seahawks. And one of my favorite things about that is we didn't block Michael Bennett for the entire game. The entire game, Michael Bennett beat whoever was in front of him. Double team, triple team.
That boy was a monster.
But
He was a monster.
dog.
Yeah.
He was a monster.
And but we were just at a point where, listen, we gonna hit some line, spread it out, bring it back in, hike the ball, and third step, that ball is out. We are not like when you try to create. It's crazy, like the Steph thing. You can shoot that 30-footer, but it gotta hit. It gotta go in, and sometimes that's not the shot we need. Sometimes down 7-0, our defense just gotta stop. We don't need you to create magic. Just get everything back on schedule. And I think that is the thing that made Brady so different was even when we were down 28-3, the game never got out of hand for him. It never looked like, man, he's rattled.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think that was the biggest difference.
They had 1 first down in the first half, bro.
Yeah.
Just asinine. So let's flip it to Nelson.
Well, I just want to say, just to answer your question about Mahomes. Yeah, I'm with you more so in the fact that it doesn't change how I view him, but I think that because I was in the same boat as you, like it was never a convo with Brady yet. Yeah. I think my main thing with Mahomes was always he was on pace. That's the thing. Like you look at where he is in his career, I'm like he's on pace, but why are y'all trying to put him there right now? If he keeps doing what he's gonna do, he'll do it. Like you know what I'm saying. But y'all just gotta let it play out. Right. So I just think that this was just a big halt on that, and now it's like you have to make up ground now. Now, like you were on pace, you were gonna have the 3-peat, something no one ever done. That was gonna, you might have been able to possibly go with 6 instead of 7 because you did that. Like you know what I'm saying. Now it's like, all right, I seen you get cooked. You already have the head-to-head matchup with Brady. That's already not in your favor.
It's over.
All this shit. Now it's just like I'm still not gonna say it's over because you made the argument about how long Brady played, 22 years. You know, and this is the thing with the NFL and how hard it is to win and be a long-standing good franchise. Like Pat and Andy, you have to do with what Belichick and Brady did. Y'all got to stick together, and y'all got to prove you can go through different generations of players. Right. You need to win rings with bums sometimes. Like, you're going to have to make greatness happen. Y'all got to stick together and figure it out, you know, and you can do it. It's possible. So I'm not going to rule out that it's not possible. If you play for a long-ass fucking time, you stick, y'all two prove y'all the GOAT tandem and figure it out, it's possible, but you got some ground to cover.
I'm glad you mentioned that, and before we get to Nelson, I do want to say something to the Chiefs fans, the couple niggas that are out there. Listen, Dynasty's it's not all sunshines and rainbows. Like, niggas be like, oh, you a Pants fan. Like, like y'all always won. We went niggas be like, y'all was always winning. We went 10 years without winning a Super Bowl. Like, 10 really long years. Yes. Like, you get, but well, we didn't get fucked in the Super Bowl. But you lose, you get embarrassed, you lose players. You see niggas who, like, were all-time greats age out of that. But the difference was, and I will say this before we actually, this is the perfect time for it. Listen, that Travis Kelce shit y'all was doing, boy. Listen, hey, his time was coming. Hey, y'all was nobody wants a blocking tight end until your tackles stink. Until your tackle's bad, then blocking as a tight end matters. Nobody cared about blocking tight end before. They was like, oh, well, he gets us a bunch of yards. All right. Mahomes is on his back. Hopefully he can throw it from there, too. Like, all right.
Go get you a fullback or something.
And Gronk's last Super Bowl, he was a blocking tight end the entire game because we needed him to block. Because we couldn't block Aaron Donald. Mm-hmm. Like, they have aged pretty gracefully. Mm-hmm. But these next 3 years, like you're saying, they are going to have to clean house. Yeah. Everyone's going to have to go. Well, not like firing people, but like, I mean, Chris Jones not going to be there. Travis Kelce's not going to be there. Mm-hmm. Joe Tooney, the left guard. I mean, he's about to be 30. Like, listen, I got the Chiefs on my Madden roster. Mm-hmm. Listen, a lot of them niggas kind of old. Like,
and that was the thing about Brady is Brady did it again. And the thing about Brady is they say they try to trick you. Yeah. Brady didn't win a Super Bowl for 10 years. He got the two in between the 10 years. He just didn't win one. He got the two other.
It was a lot of AFC championships in there too.
And exactly, but he was in the AFC championship every other year doing that. So it was like we
lost to the champions like 2-3 years in a row.
Yes. Still winning, still putting pressure on them. And like I said, bro, that GOAT debate got to chill, bro. Brady is at over 100,000 total passing yards. The NFL in NFL history, he has the most passing touchdowns. Yeah. He's leading in the big three category for quarterbacks. Yeah. It's different.
He has more Super Bowls than any team.
He has more Super Bowls than any team. Yeah. He has 10 Super Bowl appearances. He was in the booth yesterday talking about my first 9 Super Bowl appearances. Let's be cool on the Mahomes Brady talk. Like I said 2 weeks ago, bro. Like Mahomes is that guy. Mahomes is him, but he has things to work on before we start putting him in that upper echelon of tier of quarterbacks. Brady's different on a tier of his own.
As a Brady fan, hearing him in the booth was so funny.
No, it was.
He was back there cackling. It was like 2 minutes. He didn't say nothing. He was just like kicking back. Like, it ain't busting this ass.
Boy, he was having the time of his life. Yeah. He was having the time of his life as he should. Yeah. But
Tom threw for 500 versus the Eagles.
500. And lastly, another point in the GOAT debate, which is going to be really hard for Mahomes to get, is Mahomes' combined Super Bowl losses are 40 points. Yeah. And Brady's 3 Super Bowl losses, it was 15, a combined 15 points. Yeah. Like a combined 15 in 3 games versus 40 in 2. Mm-hmm.
You might have beat him, but you was gonna have to go down swinging.
You was gonna have to go down swinging, and that's what we thought about Mahomes.
And like you said before we get off the Chiefs, listen, all devil magic not the same.
You feel me?
Like listen, 17-0 kind of felt different. Like, it was like, damn, these niggas might be fried. Like 17-0, like, man, them niggas hitting hard. Like 17 points, no cap. I've seen Tom Brady like erase 17 points in a playoff game, like I think like 5 times, damn near, just in his late 30s, man. Shout out Tom, man. Good day to be a Pats fan.
That boy Nick Wright said the score is 10-0, so now the game could finally begin.
Oh, yeah. Game was over quick. That was a quick-ass game.
All right.
It was 10-0, then y'all 21 scores.
like, get off the sticks, dog. Oh, my God.
Nelson, it is your time. Before we say any topic, anything, take it away.
How does it feel? Yeah.